military salary do not take care of, a whole entire household, and it, to live comfortably. I'm sorry, but I don't know what kind of position in the military you have, but I know that the salary my husband have did not take care of the bills.
I think women need to work on being better teammates, just in a general perspective, and we can get along because it shouldn't be that complicated.
If what you did was so hard, then why didn't you just let your husband stay home and do it? Then you go to work. You have that option. So, and then when we have these
No, we did
conversations
not.
about when we have you definitely have the option. You just chose
He
not to.
was in the military, so no, I did not have that
That's even
choice.
worse. So again, you still could have worked because
I did work.
as a retired veteran, you definitely could work. And the raising of children is not difficult. You guys, this is what women do in these conversations. You guys tend to, in generally speaking, extrapolate to the power of everything. So because you think that you got to feed the kids, get groceries, change the dog, change the kitty litter, that's four things. And you think the man going to work is only one thing. So your four things means more than the one thing that he did, which is what allows you to provide, I mean, to have that actual ability to not have to do the majority of the financial providing for your household. And that's
That's
what
not
I'm
what I
talking about.
said.
That's exactly what
I
you
did not
implied.
say that my
That's
four
not what
things
you
was
said.
a lot more
I didn't
than
say
what he
what you said.
did.
I said it implied in what she mentioned. Because
No, no,
remember,
no.
Okay, do
Take
you
the
do you
part.
hear
hey,
what I
this
said
is
that
how
I
you can have
work
a
outside the
conversation. Let
household?
me finish, and then when it's time for you to respond to what I'm saying and not what you think I'm going to say. Jay, same thing for you. When you have these conversations, it's as if you guys make it seem the man only does one thing. And what you said was, well, I have to do this, this, and this, and all you have to do is go to work. All he had to do was work. So again, you took all the small things you do, which is part of the one job you had, and made it everything compared to what he had to do. That's the problem because you don't value what it is he's having to do because if you did, you wouldn't have said, well, I have to do all of these things. He only has to go to work. And that's the problem that I have when we have these conversations. It's not difficult to run a household. You'd have to run a household if you didn't have kids. It would just be yours. So you don't get credit for doing the stuff you're supposed to do as an adult parent. You chose to be a parent. No one made you. No one put a gun to your head. You chose and volunteered for that. So because you volunteered for that situation, you set up your marriage. You agreed to the terms and conditions of your marriage. You don't get credit for operating inside those agreed upon terms and conditions. There's not extra credit. That doesn't mean that what you did isn't important. But what it does mean is that you're not doing anything special or above and beyond what you agreed to do. You have a choice.
Okay,
I would like. Go ahead.
okay. So first and foremost, I did not discredit the work that my husband did. I said, he only have one thing to do, which is, waking up, come on, like wake up to a nice warm breakfast, with his uniform already ironed in, so he can go and take off and go to work. And when he come back, he will have a nice warm dinner, kids already taken care of, homework already done. And like what I'm saying is like, I do appreciate what he did, that he will have to come, like he will come home to a, a decent meal. It was never like a five course meal or whatnot, but it was a meal. Kids were already taken care of. I had already done all the pickup, drop off, after curricular activities, all that good stuff. So he will have to just come home and worry about what was in the table for him already warm, like eating his dinner, unwind and watch TV, and then go to bed because he has to work the next day. By the time he hits to bed, I have to worry about the cleaning up the kitchen, prepping up lunch boxes, his lunch for the next day so he can just grab and go. Like I did appreciate my husband, and that's what I did, everything I did. What I'm saying is that it's a hard work to take care of a household, work outside the household, because let's not forget, I also work outside the house and I took care of my house and my four children and my husband. So it is a hard work. You said it's easy because probably you had never done it yourself. And it's easy a lot to said than done. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
unfortunately, there's nothing speculative or conjecture based on what I've said. I have my kids, and I've been running a household of my own for 10 years, and it's not difficult, especially when you enjoy doing it. And with all the other things you mentioned, again, congratulations for being an adult. Like that's what you're supposed to do. You agreed to that outcome in that situation with your husband, so
And
you can't say that.
I'm
Well,
not denying that. And I said
yeah, the only
I
thing that you
proudly
have denied
did
it
that.
for an argument against it. You've done it 3 times now. All he had to do was go to work, as if like being in the military is easy. And again, as the I think the only veteran up here, I can tell you. I'm sorry, my bad, True. I forgot, bro. What you being a dependent is not hard. That is one of the easiest jobs a woman will ever have in life, is being a dependent on someone in the military. Your housing is provided for you unless you live off base. You get money for food, you get money for housing, and you have a set budget that you know is going to work in. And then you have all the resources in the world. So let's not act like you also don't get free childcare from the CDCs on base. Let's also not act like you
Well,
don't get to go to on
those
base to go
children,
to those CDCs, and they have schools on base and a commissary and a PX.
I did
So
not live on base.
anytime a dependent, if it was a civilian woman having this conversation, it would make a little bit more sense, but still be crazy. But for a former dependent to be having this conversation,
When he's deployed, I became a civilian wife because I have to be on my own with my 4 kids. So yes, he did sign up for that, and I did sign up to be a wife and a mother, and a mother for my children. I'm not saying that, but you still missing the point that I still work out like a full-time job outside the house. Like,
Let's
yes, because military salary do not take care of, a whole entire household and it, to live comfortably. I'm sorry, but I don't know what kind of position in the military you have, but I know that the salary my husband had did not take care of the bills.
yeah,
So
I
I
get, I
had
can
to
give you
work.
that because he was probably low rank. That makes sense. Like, and your money comes with rank. I get that. However, the military does pay you a livable wage. If you live within your pay, we live within your means. You can definitely provide for a family at all
No,
pay
when
grades.
you
You're
have four
an adult.
children, no, it's not enough. And then you have them to
Having
do,
four
go
children,
into a good education and have
right?
extracurricular activities. My daughter's pump, like her cheer, for school, it's
That's
almost
extra.
$3,000 a year. So
That's
it's like that is an extra money
that's
that
my
needs to
point.
come out of somewhere.
That's my point. You're living above your means. That was my point.
No, it's not above my needs. We
100%.
plan things, and that's the reason I work outside the household so we can provide a better future for our children and
So
not just being in a tight budget.
now you guys are having a spirited conversation, and like even with Shia, is it Shia and however you say it? I'm
It's
sorry, I'm not trying to block.
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne. Okay, Cheyenne kind of set the precedence for this, right? So what I heard, and Willie, being spirited, that's my brother right there.
I'm not
He's
even scared
speaking.
yet. This is easy.
Well, I'm saying from the standpoint because I understand where you're going, right? And this is what I wanted to ask, Cheyenne and then even Michelle. Would you guys consider yourself good teammates?
I do.
Okay,
Teammate.
why? Yes. Would you consider yourself a good teammate?
Yes,
Like,
I can
can you
I can hold down the fort when he has to, delegate his all his strength into something else. Yes.
can you elaborate
Okay.
what you mean by teammate?
So basically, if any man acquired you to be his woman, he's acquiring a teammate, which means that there's a function he has, there's a function you have. So I'm asking you on a personal level, and then obviously people are listening. Would you consider yourself a good teammate? Michelle already
Yeah,
said
like
yes.
we're on the same team. Like we're not opposing teams. Yeah.
Okay, so what does that look like coming from someone like you?
So like the dynamic of the house.
Just period, your relationship. If you're on a team, this means that you have a job. This means you have a function. Also, he has a function. So you said you're a good teammate. What does that look like
Mhm.
in your opinion?
Yeah. So I think that on a team there's hierarchy. That's just like me. Nobody has to agree with what I'm saying, but this is just like for my belief. Even if like you're on a team, like there's still um things that people are supposed to do within a team. So if it's like if I was married, then he would be like the leader and he would make the ultimate decision. Not to say that he isn't supposed to help.
She breaking up a little bit. I'm sorry if you're talking, but okay, I'll take that. Basically, if I think I know where it really is going with it, the thing about relationship from a male's perspective is that we understand that we have to function on this team, right? And what you
Can you hear
often
me
hear,
now?
I can now. You can finish your point if you want to. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm so
No,
sorry. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. Please forgive me for that. Okay,
no worries.
so like I was saying, is that he would be the head. Not to say that he's not gonna like help out at all. Like I like if I'm cooking, like he should be able to like wash the dishes. If I'm washing the clothes, he can like help fold. Like that's I don't really believe in like the gender roles that much for that aspect of it. But like the team aspect, he would be like the head of the house, then I would be like, you know, helpmate and stuff like that because I'm a Christian, so that's like what I believe. But like we are still working together and like it's not like he's like I guess trying to make it seem like still respecting me as his wife, because like my opinions still do matter in the household, but like that's just like what I would see as the team. Like we are a team, but there's still like duties
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so taking it back to communication, because that's what the clip kind of incited from the ladies' perspective. What I often find is a lot of women really don't know what a teammate looks like, especially in a relationship. And this is where it kind of unfolds. To Michelle's point, her situation is different. Military, so I would kind of put that to the side. Basically, most women are not in, military spouses or whatever. But what you typically find hearing from women when they talk about relationship dynamics, they have no idea what it is to be a teammate. They're actually terrible at being a teammate, because in their mind, they know what he's supposed to do. But when you often ask women, well, what exactly are you supposed to do on this team? Because the relationship is a team. And you often find that they kind of don't know and have a clear depiction, which they should know. So basically, if you're afforded the ability, we've talked about this. I didn't take you and make you and park you and put you in the house and say, I'm paying everything. You're aware this is happening. So basically, I'm going to go function, get this money, go do what I got to do. This is my function on this team. That means that there's things that you also have to do. You will be inconvenienced. You will be stressed out. You will have to give energy yourself. But what it seems like is women don't know that, and they start to highlight the little itty bitty instances like, oh, I had to get in the car, back up backwards, jump on the freeway, jump off the freeway, stop at 3 stores. It's like, stop. Where I think women need to work on being better teammates, just in a general perspective, and we can get along, because it shouldn't be that complicated. If you're afforded the opportunity to dictate your household as a housewife, house girlfriend, whatever, this means that you get to take a lunch break when you want. You ain't got no boss mandating, Jack. This is your ecosystem. You are in control. And if to hear hard is kind of like, you got to be kidding me. But I'll land.